Welcome back to the last game of the night, WPC World Esports Professional Classic. Newbee going up against Vici Gaming, who convincingly took a game number one. I'm What Is Hip. With me tonight is Coddle Guy, rounding it out. You ready for the home stretch?
This is it, buddy. We're going to take it to the end right now. It's been a long one so far, and we're going to go ahead and dig deep. And I want to take this moment, and I know I'm going to be speaking for Greg here when I say appreciate everyone that happened to come by and hang out with us from the beginning to the end, or anyone just coming in right now and supporting the WPC, us, and of course, shout outs to Beyond the Summit for letting us have this opportunity to cast these great games.
Yeah, they've been very entertaining thus far. So with that, I mean, Vici Gaming were able to just put on enough pressure in game number one that it took way too long for How to come online. I mean, at the end there, this was not the first game tonight that we've seen the carry come alive just a little bit too late. You know, in that first game with Black, at the end of the game he got a rampage, but it was just not quite enough. A little bit too late. So we'll see if Newbee can do something a little bit different this time around and figure out a way to take down Vici Gaming.
Yep, not promptly so. Not going to allow that Invoker come out this time for VG, but they do leave a lot of prominent options there. The Ancient Apparition's the first one that comes to my mind, and someone we've seen all game long, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's someone grabbed. Actually didn't work out too well in the last game. And I also want to note, this is the first time Shadow Shaman is not being promptly banned out, so we could finally see him for the first time as well.
Yeah, that would be definitely an interesting pickup to see how he works in this dynamic. And the last ban there is going to be for the Bat Rider. And look at that. Immediately, that Shadow Shaman is snapped up. So the first time of the night, we will see why people love this hero so much in the Chinese scene.
Now, what is the deal with Shadow Shaman in the Eastern scene that they have to promptly ban him out all the time? I'm very eager to see what they utilize him, how they rather, in this kind of lane setup. And there you go, Ancient Apparition also grabbed up promptly so, and put that together with a Nature's Prophet. You got a little bit of a global strat in your back pocket.
And you know, I think a lot of the draw for the Shadow Shaman, he's pretty okay in lane. I mean, if you submit into a lot of pressure, he can kind of just crumble, but he's got very strong abilities. Shackle as well as the Hex are both incredibly good. Ether Shock kind of just like the cherry on top. He is able to push towers, and if you get a Blink Dagger, you can deal with BKBs fairly well just by Blink Hex and then follow that up with a Shackle. Gives you a lot of room to bring down a carry that does pick up a BKB, so Newbee going to try to use this hero effectively, and we'll see how it works out for him.
We'll see when we decide on where they want to take it from here. I mean, they're hindering out, getting rid of the Lycan, getting rid of the Bat, who's just so precious, and a lockdown that's definitely crucial. And, you know, it's something that both teams still kind of need as a bit of initiation here. You talked about the Shadow Shaman being able to pick up the Blink Dagger, but they might be able to need something right off the bat.
Yeah, and, you know, it does take a little while for that hero to really come into his own. He needs some space. He needs room to be able to farm up that Blink Dagger, or, I mean, Force Staff's okay as well, but I think the Blink Dagger is definitely the superior item on the Shadow Shaman. So what are they going to couple it with? Well, the Clockwork. So this is some strong initiation already from Newbee.
Yeah. Not just strong initiation, one of the best there is, and also a fantastic offlaner in his own right. He'll be his first appearance this whole evening so far, so I'm happy to see him there. He will have to contest what could be a very prominent and strong tri-lane in affiliation with that Ancient Apparition and with that Chilling Touch. So we'll see if they can make it work. They have a lot of options to work with, and once again, we're going to see the ever so intriguing Faceless Void ban, which is something also the Eastern scene prides himself in using very proficiently rather, but we're not going to see it this time around. And also an Enchantress being banned out on the side of Vici Gaming.
I mean, Vici did use that Faceless Void very effectively in the first game of the night, so Newbee, I'm sure, paying attention to that. Don't really want to give them that opportunity to form up and get that strategy moving along. So, I mean, at this point, if you don't know exactly what they're going to be going for, I think you just have to have a little bit more general bans, like the ones we've been seeing, ones that you know will at least generally fit into their lineup, ones that you've seen them perform well with. So I like that ban, and we'll see how we deal with that moving forward. The Enchantress ban, a bit more interesting. I mean, I think they're just worried about if they pick up an Enchantress and you know, they'll just have a mob that they can't really deal with in the very early parts of the game.
Ember Spirit also being removed out. We saw Ember Spirit earlier being used, and it was with great succession right there for Orenda. They pulled out really well and got out the Ember Spirit. I'd actually think about remember what that game was. It feels like this has been like the longest day of casting ever. So, but yeah, but they're gonna ban it out, get rid of it, and as you can see right there, ROTK doesn't even know what the hell's happening right now. He has a long thumbnail. Jesus Christ.
He's just trying to figure out what to do, and he is the drafter for Vici, so a lot of it is going to lie in whatever he chooses here. I mean, I think the last time around they had a very strong draft, very creative draft, using that Invoker extremely unconventionally, but I mean, results show it worked. Sylar had great awareness, definitely had some good familiarity with the hero, even if it's not really the style we're normally seeing on him. He was on par with those Sunstrikes, had some real nice ones.
Yeah, it definitely highly worked in their favor, and just another really slow-paced, methodical draft like we saw last time. Not that heavy burst that we've been seeing all through the night. These two teams, though, very, very prominent, and once again, reminding everyone, the odds in this one, if you had your rares or keys on the line, was pretty much near down the middle, near slight favor towards Vici Gaming, and that might be because the last time they met before this WPC was in Starladder, where they did have a very dominating performance. Last game they were, not super dominating, but they definitely took control of the game and never gave up on it. And Hal had nowhere to farm and make it, for the rest of, for his team. So they're looking to close this one out with like pretty much a perfect night.
And they ban out the Anti-Mage. They decide that they'd rather not deal with it, and I don't really blame them. It almost wrecked them. It was very close. I mean, he was very effective at the end of the game, but in the end, it didn't quite work out for them. And they pick up the Alchemist as their third pick here. So we'll see what kind of style this is going to be. Have to assume that it's just going to be what we've been seeing all along in that mid lane. The Chinese style, they still really do like this. I mean, it's a strong hero. He has a lot of utility. He can farm up items rather quickly and bring you into the mid-game team fights ready to go with things like Mechanism.
Yeah, been typical in the Western scene. We've seen him played up as support, and I feel like it's one of those heroes that will still, in my opinion, will still be a dominating force in like the international. I feel like a lot of the teams, especially on the Western scene, where they haven't used it as much recently, still have back strats and teams and drafts where they do incorporate him and are waiting to be able to pull him out for the big stage. So I would be surprised if we see him there. And if you take a moment to look over the band pick rate of Clockwork on these fancy grass, sponsored by Neo TV and their fantastic work, you can see it's pretty much down the middle, but for the majority of the time, we just go ahead and ignore that Clockwork.
Yeah, I don't think he's quite powerful enough to, first ban material. Really, the only ones we see with over like 50% on the ban rate are those first ban materials, and Clockwork definitely not one of those heroes. He has his place, but he doesn't quite fit into every single lineup. So he is a very powerful hero though. And Rubik is the next pick up here, and he's got some very tasty spells to steal already. You can steal Teleport, you can steal Trance, you can steal the Unstable Concoction, Ice Blast if you somehow get that. That's pretty unusual, but Chilling Touch also pretty decent if you can steal that as well.
Yeah, why not, right? Rubik in his own, even without stealing any sort of spells, is just a great hero in his own right. You can do some sort of early roamage with the help of the telekinesis. You can get the pickoffs you need, and, well, Alchemist is not one of those heroes that has a very good escape mechanism, so if they try to add pressure to the mid lane, they might be successful in then being able to pick him off. Fourth pickup over here for the side of Vici will be the Sand King, which we've seen a few times this evening, a great roaming support in his own right, and a lot of tools to work with.
Yeah, and ever since that buff happened to Sandstorm, this hero has just been all over the place. People really like playing with him. It's just so easy to get that Blink Dagger online, which is really the core of the hero. Once you have that, you're pretty much ready to go. I mean, you can initiate team fights, you can initiate ganks. You're tooled up and ready to make a huge impact on the game, and you can get that so quickly now just by stacking and using those Sandstorms. So I like this. I mean, I liked it every time. I still like it. I think it's very good, and I wonder what the core is going to be here for Vici Gaming.
Yeah, same goes for Newbee. They have a great foundation already laid out, a couple of supports, and a great offlaner right there. But speaking of cores, look at this. Mini throwback in its own right. Morphling appearance once again. Black didn't have much success with him earlier, but we'll see if they can make something happen here on the side of Newbee Gaming. And this is a hero we've talked about time and time again who needs that farm, needs that early game to inherit all the items and everything he wants to get online, whether it be the Lincoln's route and then into a shotgun or what have you. Those are crucial items he needs before he can really be a dominating force.
And, you know, I do want to point out, if you look at the tri-lane that he's most likely going to be in, this is a very defensive tri-lane. They have a lot of abilities to make sure that Morphling can't die very easily, so they're going to be looking to farm him up as aggressively as possible. And just a mid-hero left for Newbee, and they go ahead and ban out the Templar Assassin. We saw Super do some serious work with him in the first game, and they're going to choose to, in first game of the night, rather, not last game, they're going to choose to ban him out.
I'm thinking a puck. We haven't seen it yet. It's always been banned at the end. We've been praising and talking about how they love their puck, but yet to grab it. I'm thinking that maybe Vici Gaming might be saving it out, banning out the Templar Assassin, who could be a bit of a contender. And one of these two teams, I'm just feeling it in my bones they're going to grab it.
Banning out the Templar Assassin, definitely an indication that they're at least considering going for the puck here. I mean, definitely one of the worst matchups for the puck is the Templar Assassin. So we'll see how they do choose to round it out. But they do have the Alchemist already for the mid lane, so I think they'll most likely be looking for a core.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, it's possible that maybe this is a core Alch, but I think this Alchemist will be happy to park him in the mid lane again, so they're just going to be looking for some sort of carry to round out their entire lineup.
Yep, absolutely.
Although I would love to see more. I love that hero. Puck is such a fun hero.
Yeah, that would be a solid grab if we can see it there. And you're right, I just keep forgetting where I'm actually casting this game from in Eastern Dota scene. This is definitely going to be a prominent Alchemist in the mid lane, and they could use a third finale. Oh, I love this grab. The Weaver. Justin Weaver. Always grabbed up. Top lane, tri-lane, trifecta, and you put that together with the Chilling Touch. That's devastating, Greg.
Oh,
you can weave in there and get proper positioning and lay off that heavy-hitting additional damage. Loving this tri-lane. Clockwork's in a world of hurt.
Builds on the Geminate attack as well, so it's just a ton of extra damage. And there we go. The last pickup of the night is the puck for Moo.
Finally,
we see this hero. He's going to be parking in the mid lane. And, I mean, I like this pickup with this team. It's great with the Clockwork. They've got some really good initiation for team fights. They've got a lot of damage with the puck. The Morphling can waveform over the top of it all. So I like the way things have worked out for both the teams here. But let's pop into the game, and we'll see how it works out. Anyone you favor after heading right past the draft?
I mean, I don't know. Both teams have nice, unique little synergies and get-ups and stuff. And even for down in the late game, a Morphling versus Weaver battle could be very intriguing in its own right. As far as initiation, I would have to slightly favor Newbee with the help of that Clockwork. But, I mean, who knows, man? Vici Gaming have been on par, though, lately.
Yeah, they've been playing really well. Speaking of Vici Gaming, it's FY on the Sand King. He's got a very fat tail. It kind of looks like a slug. Right behind him, Vici Gaming Super is going to be picking up the Alchemist. ROTK on the Nature's Prophet. Once again, Fenrir on the Ancient Apparition. But hold that thought. It looks like we might have a bit of an engagement here. They're sparring it out. In the little bottom, they can damage the trance, clearing some room to put down some wards. And rounding out the Vici Gaming lineup is going to be Sylar up in the top lane.
Yep, and on your side for Newbee, looking to try to get a victory for themselves. Quick D-ward there for the pull camp. Very nice on their part. You got King J on that Rasta, or the Shadow Shaman, if you will, finally making an appearance. Alongside him, Moo on the puck, who's also finally being shown tonight. Going to be representing that mid lane. Over near the top, we got Zhao 8, the captain, playing your Clockwork in the off lane. And finally, rounding things up, your carry core late gamer is going to be Hao on the Morphling.
And Banana on the Rubik. You forgot about Banana, man.
Oh, and
he feels so bad right now.
I slipped. What can you say, Greg? I slipped on Banana.
Wow. I'm not even sure if you did that on purpose now.
I did on purpose, Greg, believe it or not. I'll just run with that one. Just let me have it, please. It's been a long night, please.
Well, Zhao 8 picks himself up the double damage rune. He does have to be a bit careful with this. He might be a little bit over-aggressive with this double damage. It's kind of a false sense of security, but this lane can certainly kill him extremely quickly. And he traps in a couple of the creeps here. Doesn't quite get all of them, but that's still going to help. Anything helps just to push the lane back a little bit. And FY going to keep him in check already.
I'm really intrigued here. I would have to feel that Pug in the mid lane should be able to assert himself pretty significantly against the Alchemist. This is going to be someone who's going to be very hard to pick off if they even consider the thought of trying to be aggressive and make some roaming happen towards the mid. And Pug's one of those heroes that's just too elusive to try to take down. Well, Alchemist, it's a lot easier. So, I mean, I'm trying to look. It doesn't appear... No, they do have a smoke on King J, so that could be something they're thinking about as they roam through the jungle. They might look to make something happen on the mid lane sooner than later.
Really, the only issue for Puck in this lane is if the Acid Spray gets maxed out, it can do a bit of damage, which is pretty annoying. I mean, Puck does not have a great HP pool, but the biggest thing is it's pretty hard for you to get hit by the Unstable Concoction, so as long as you utilize Phase Shift effectively, you're usually in pretty good shape. He is going to have to be a bit careful. I mean, you always have to be careful when you're playing against an Alchemist, because if you do get hit with that stun, sometimes you just get smacked down into oblivion. So, top lane, little D-ward happening. Xiao Wei, unfortunately, not going to be able to keep that one. That's one that you really do want to keep a hold of, but not too much you can do about that.
Yep, now he has to play on the back pedal, can't get overcautious, don't hand over any unnecessary kills, you know, just kind of hold strong, see if you can sap away a little bit of XP for yourself. If you get a CS here and there, that's great, but first things first, don't get overzealous, don't get too cautious. You know, be more cautious.
Yeah. So, now he is inching his way forward here. Still level 1 on the Ancient Apparition. Actually hasn't skilled yet. I like this because, you know, you might not know, do you need the Cold Feet, do you need the Chilling Touch, but he's relatively safe for the moment with his Sand King moving away, but he doesn't really know that's happening, so still just playing very cautiously. Xiao Wei really doesn't want to feed away a kill in this lane.
Yep. Mid lane, things are relatively even, 7 for 7, but Morphling still leading the front as far as 10 to 3 for himself in this bottom lane. Lots and lots of space to work with, as it would appear that Nature's Prophet is forced back. He can always fall back on going into the jungle if necessary, but for now, just kind of holding strong in that bottom lane.
Yeah, and Morphling should be just fine in this lane. He doesn't need too much attention at all. And they are smoked up. They're wrapping around. They're actually going to use this to go behind the tower and try to take ROTK. They've got that haste ring. He makes the trance. I'm not sure they're going to be able to do this. Maybe they'll turn around and set their sights on the mid lane. No, still going to move forward here. Fortunately, ROTK hiding way back by the tower. Now they're going to show. And still, the tower's
forcing him all the way back. I mean, good game sense though for ROTK. He noticed they were missing. Most people would just immediately assume like, oh, they're probably making aggressive maneuvers towards the mid lane, so I should be relatively safe. But he knew they were missing. He played very cautiously and stepped back.
Sand King's still level 1 here, just about to hit level 2. And Dire actually have to fortify this up as ROTK really can't get near this tower. Newbee doing a really nice job of just wrapping around and controlling the creeps in this lane and making sure they get maximum tower damage out here.
I'm really curious to see how things are going to work once Puck finally reaches that level 6 and gets a hold of that sweet Dream Coil. If he's going to try to make something happen here in the mid lane, take out the Alchemist, or maybe try to make, you know, a maneuver towards the top or bottom lane, maybe help out the top lane a little bit, or just try to finally get that pick off on RTK on the bottom.
Yeah, and he's been doing a decent job of just keeping this lane equal. He's taking damage from the Acid Spray, but he's making sure to use his nukes to bring the Alchemist down as well. So, pretty even in the mid lane. Puck's starting to move ahead a little bit in CS, but that's honestly not too unexpected, as Super has to take a lot of abuse here from all these nukes.
Yep, this is going to be one of those games where they're both just kind of do their respect set of farm right now, and we might not see anything really trigger until, you know, the level 6 begin to roll around. So for now, just a bit of a mirror match happening out. Proper supports doing the pulls as necessary, getting him back in the lane. They're trying to block it right now with a missile here in the top lane, but you know, for now, they're just kind of just keeping to each their own and playing very safe.
RTK looks like he may have abandoned ship. We'll see where he goes after healing up in the fountain. And if he does not come back to this lane, oh, he's going to go for the Invis Rune, snake that away from the Puck. Very nice job there. That's a really important aspect of Nature's Prophet that a lot of people honestly just don't do. So that's going to help him a lot, especially since it's an Invis Rune. And he's actually just going to blow it, make some treants. But he needs to get these creeps away from the tower, so I don't blame him.
Yeah, this tower goes down early. It's going to be more gold for Hao right away, and him moving one step closer towards, you know, building into that Morphling we all want to see. So he's going to try to hold strong, not really calling in reinforcements just yet, just doing his best what he can with these trees.
I think they're just trying to delay the tier 1. I'm not even sure they're going to send TPs over. I think they just kind of have to concede this tower. I'm not sure anyone can actually fight up against this Morphling Rubik Shadow Shaman tri-lane. So I think he's just trying to delay it as much as he can.
Farming elsewhere is probably also going to be more of a priority for him. So for now, he's delaying as long as possible. Definitely would agree with that. And just, you know, eventually they might have to succumb it over. But for now, you know, everyone else needs to get the respectable farm they need. Even Sand King using the Sandstorm in the jungle, a newly buffed Sandstorm to try to farm up a couple stacks of creeps right here, pushing forward, trying to get that Epi, trying to get that Blink Dagger.
That's a huge stack. Holy crap.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
He's going to take that thing down. No problem. They do get the tower in the bottom lane. How? already building up a nice set of gold. I wonder if he's just going to go for the Midas here. Looks like he probably is. He's got a lot of money.
Yeah, I would definitely get to that late game sooner.
Interesting. He's going to go for Wand Aquila. Aquila is actually insane on Morphling. It gives you 18 damage, plus obviously you can move that into 18 strength, so really nice item on that hero.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Zhao, sporting a nice 9-0 CS, which isn't too terrible considering the lane he's, stuck against.
That's
and
fine.
You compare that over to ROTK on the opposing offlane, who's only 4-0. He's definitely holding pretty strong here.
Yeah, this is really all Zhao can ask for. He hasn't died. He's been doing a decent job, getting some CS, getting the levels. He's level 5, same level as Sylar, so things are going well. He hasn't been shut down too heavily. And Banana has found himself a double damage rune. What do you think he's going to do with this? Maybe just continue jungling. They don't have another smoke, so...
Just kind of taking the home farm for themselves, trying to continue to level up. Another set of heroes that once they reach their level 6, they can really make something happen with the spell steal and with the help of the wards if they want to try to continue to push things out even more. So, still slow pace, no kill as of yet. We're moving on to 7 minutes.
Yeah, still moving forward here. Both teams completely content to farm. Quick look at the preliminary graph. It's Newbee that are just a bit ahead. Completely expected as they have knocked down the tower.
Just going to do one of those little plugs right there and remind everyone this is the WPC 2014, 250K on the line for these teams as they look to compete it out. 12 teams in it, and now they're expanding global as they bring...
Moo, what a player!
Radiant's top
Oh
tower
my
is under
god.
attack.
That's so annoying. Puck is so good at killing couriers in the early game.
Mm-hmm.
That one well.
So elusive, man. That's what we're talking about. Able to get around. If he sees the opportunity to make a jump, this is the kind of hero that can do it.
So no first blood, except for the courier who has he's left us. He's in a better place now, but he'll be back in just a couple of minutes. And Super. He's gonna head towards some phase boots for himself. 34 CS compared to the Puck's 40. Stun charging up. That's not gonna hit anyone. Now they're going to finish the order here. I think they might want to move in. Nature's Prophet thinking about it. And that's enough to scare away Moo.
And Moo does have that Dream Coil available if they wanted to make something happen. But
they clip him!
Nice throw up to the cliff and they get him! Super has to TP away. So a bit of a time delay, but he goes right to mid. So nothing too terrible, but just a bit of a fluster as he has to use the TP.
It's a moral victory, I think. Flare coming out, hitting the Sand King, and 8 minutes. This is what this new Sand King does. It's 8 minutes, and he has 32 CS and almost has a Blink Dagger. Ridiculous.
The Sand King jungle meta right now, pulling out the Darude tactics.
Yeah. I played that song for you guys earlier, and I have to say that is one of my my guilty pleasures playing Sand King.
I hate you so much. Why do you do that? It's like you're like taunting on a cult of people.
But we'll see. I mean, now that the Sand King does have the Blink Dagger online, well, not quite, but in a couple of gold we'll have that. Are Vici going to be looking for their first blood? Still, no kills in this game. 9 minutes looks very similar to the first time around. So, there it is. The Blink Dagger picked up. Now, Zhao 8 does have to be, I think, maybe a bit more careful as it looks like the Sand King might be heading towards the top lane. And Puck, he's out of the lane for a little bit. Banana just going to pick that up. He wants to get a level 6 for himself as well.
Zhao 8 already well and far away from the lane fast for now, but Sand King not showing anyone just yet. He has that Blink Dagger and has it actually at a pretty decent time, but he wants to be able to take advantage of it right away. They're thinking about possibly making a move on Zhao 8 in the top lane, probably after they get taken care of this pull and they can draw him out near away from that tower.
I mean, I think they have to know that he probably has it, just because they haven't seen him in a really long time. And now Zhao 8 might be the victim here of the first blood. Or are they going to go on him? He's picked up Arcane Boots, sends a flare out. It's like he knows they're there, but unfortunately they're smoked up, and he is just heading on back still. No first blood, not able to utilize that Blink Dagger, not able to make it happen. In the mid lane, it looked like maybe they were going to try to go on Super. Moo has a Blink Dagger of his own, been pretty quiet so far this game, just content to farm up. And now they're going to move on Zhao 8. The Epicenter is charging up here, and down he goes. First blood for Fenrir, but there's a lot of TPs in. How? He gets one. Now they're moving forward. Dream Coil, Fenrir, he's going to go down to the right click. Down he goes. So 2 for 1. They get the first blood trade back and forth. 2 supports for the offlaner and the first blood gold, so pretty even trade there. But
Very
now the
good.
action's starting up.
Yeah, prompt rotation coming out from Newbee squad as they come in to defend their captain in need, and he does end up falling, but Morphling ends up snagging a kill for himself. Very nice. It's just they saw the opportunity to make a move on Zhao 8. Weaver led the front, and then promptly with the blink and burrow strike, they managed to catch him out. But 2 for 1, Newbee are happy to take it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's just a fair trade. A little bit of first blood gold for Vici, but they get 2 kills out of it, so they're happy either way. Now they're pinging up on Super. Do they want to make a move on him? This is a replicant. Morphling can come into this fight if he needs to. Charging up the stun. Ooh, FY moving in. He actually burrow strikes you. They're going to stun it as well. These replicants have so much HP, and then they realize, oh my god, there's another clockwork chasing me down with battery assault. That's the fake one. Is the Morphling going to come in here? No, it does not look like they really want to come in here. They say, need to be careful. 2-man burrow strike. Now Zhao 8 in a bit of trouble. Does that hookshot. Comes out of the cogs. Hits FY. RTK is returned as well. Tossed out is the stun. King J going to go down. Sylar is up in the air. So they continue trading back and forth 1 for 1. It's amazing watching these top-level teams in these much more neutral games. They just trade kill for kill. It's like watching a very nice game of chess.
Absolutely. I love the cute little tactics as well, using the replicant clockwork in the mid lane, trying to tease them on as Vici's just farming the mid lane as he's been, you know, after he picked off in the top, he's just trying to find some casual farm, and they actually take the bait and jump in on it. It looked very promising at the start for Newbee, but good rotation back, and VG managed to even things up.
Sylar going to be building towards the Lincolns. Same for How. And the Morphling is considerably ahead here in the CS war. Got a lot more money in the bank, so things going well for the Morphling. And I wonder if this is going to be a Manta game or a Shotgun game. Shotgun looks pretty tasty when there's a Weaver as well as an Ancient Apparition, but RTK doesn't have a huge health pool either. So we'll see where How does want to bring this. He's on the retreat after a TP in from ROTK. Banana has managed to grab Sakuchi. This is definitely one of the most useful abilities that you can get. It gives you some damage. It gives you unbelievable mobility to set up perfect telekinesis every time. But now there's a smoke gank coming in from Vici Gaming.
Ben Super
Top lane though. They're going to try to kill Sylar. They bring him down now. Return to the bottom lane. And there's this epicenter charging. It comes through. Burrow Strike, Ice Path, or Ice Blast rather, on the Morphling. He is attempting to morph away, but that does not work. They're going to get FY, I think. Ooh, one more right click. Get him. He gets him. He's going to pay for it. And Morphling sailing through here. Now finally morphing the strength. Needs to be careful. Going to eat a stun here. And in comes the clockwork into the back of the fight. I think he wanted to be in the front. Gets sprouted up. Zhao 8 not quite connecting on that one. And unfortunately, How is going to fall here. 2 for 2. And now Zhao 8. Flare. He's going to go down as well. Almost grabbed ROTK on the way out, but not quite able to do so. So in the end, including Sylar dying in the top lane, it's an even exchange yet again.
Yeah, it was really a bit of an intriguing fight that happened there in the bottom. Morphling made that last-ditch dive in, thinking that they weren't going to be able to grab the Sand King, but he did end up falling, so he almost put himself out of position. Clockwork then followed up with a hook shot, but couldn't find the proper block to help his ally, and ended up feeding himself over as well, desperately going for ROTK there at the end, but couldn't quite get it. So here we go, even once more, 5 and 5.
Mechanism coming up here for the Alchemist. This is what I was talking about. I mean, you just help your team. You can get those items so fast, and now we're entering the mid game. The Mechanism's up. Rubik's picked himself up some Arcane Boots at a pretty reasonable time, and he's grabbed himself Chemical Rage.
Very nice. Very nice. Extra regen, that mech. That's a lot of survivability for Super right now, so we'll see where he decides to take it from here, but I do like the idea of the Mechanism. All the other supports on his team are more focused on either getting the Blink Dagger for themselves or maybe just getting some wards for the team, so someone needs to get it done. Super is the one to do it right now.
Moo just putting out some harassment on this mid lane here. Shooting out the orb. Does need to be a bit careful. There's a lot of heroes here right behind. ROTK continuing to push out the towers. It looks like he wants to take a tier 1. To even it up.
Absolutely. Pushing, promptly so. We've seen him do all throughout the night here with the help of the Treants. Rotations to come, though, from Newbee. From the river. Is the hookshot going to come in? He's Invis. He's got to time it out just right. Cutting out to the front.
Might have ran too far. Sprouts here.
Oh, they have no treat or nothing to get out of there? Now they're going for Hunt. They'll get it. Fade, Bolt, and Moo to follow him with the rest of the action, and they managed to promptly take him down.
And in the meanwhile, Vici Gaming going to respond with a gank of their own on How. They're going around the long way. And not going to catch him.
Look at that, flanking from both sides trying to hunt through this tier 1 tower on the bottom, but they might be able to just end up converging and going for the tower itself here if they don't find anyone, because the rest of Newbee, filling up the middle and the top lane.
And that's just fine. I mean, they might not have gotten the kill, but, they're still going to have a good chance here of just taking down the tower. And it looks like Newbee are going to respond with a tower of their own. They've dropped the wards from the Shadow Shaman. That's definitely one benefit of that hero right there, so... Well, they're actually going to TP back and defend this, it looks like.
Yeah, Super making a run in from the back. Pops a concoction right now. The hookshot will miss, surprisingly, there from Zhao. Puts out the wall, bumps it back right now, but he's very low on life with the help of the Nature's Prophet. And, as you can tell, Sand King ends up getting taken down. Super caught up right by the wards. Wards doing some pretty decent damage here, but not quite enough. Burrow Strike to follow. More right clicks to come. Can Hal get the last one in? He ends up falling. Puck ended up getting it. Nice work from Moo right there, moving on to a dominating streak as they pick off 2 very quickly, and Newbee take control back of this game.
Yeah, and they trade the towers there as well, but Newbee able to grab a couple of kills. Definitely going to help a little bit of ROTK. Able to grab that bottom tower with the assistance of Fenrir. I think it was, it was actually Sylar that got the last hit. So, a little bit of extra gold for him. He is going to be building towards that Lincoln's. Almost there. How is extremely close. Still a bit ahead in net worth. Moo has the blink online. This is all he really wants. We'll see what he goes for next. A Hex would be very nice against Sylar, but that is quite a long ways off.
Yep. A lot of potential for this game to go the long haul, unfortunately, even though it's our last one of the day. But I'm not imagining this one to be end too soon. Both teams are trading relatively evenly in most of these team fights right now. A lot of Newbee being able to flock to this bottom lane. No tower to acquire down here, but they are seeing if they can throw out the Bloodhounds and sniff anyone out. But they don't quite catch anyone as the rest of Vici make their escape.
Yeah, continuing, and they're out of here. I think they realize what's going on, and taking a quick look at the gold graphs, small advantage for Newbee, about 4,000 gold, so they are farming the map a bit more efficiently in Morphling. Pretty much the main source of that, as well as the Puck doing much better than actually the mid laner on the other side. Has quite an advantage, 2,000 gold, so that's on the bank. No item for that yet, so it's not going to have a direct effect on the game, but we'll see what he decides to pick up. Has he actually spent that money yet? No. I think he might just be saving up to see how much he can get, and if he can save up enough for Mystic Staff. Oh, FY! Oh, they popped the dust, and now he is going to go down. Hexed up by the Shadow Shaman. Hookshot in on Super. Is he going to self-stun here? No, he gets it off. Ice Blast coming through, and that's going to nail a couple. King J going to go down here, but they need to be careful. Oh, wow, very aggressive movement there. Unfortunately, Sylar able to nail down one. ROTK has come in, Sprout up on How. He does have the waveform available. Pops off the adaptive strike now. Waveforms down the hill should be safe for the moment. Lincoln Sphere is here as well, so we'll see if he wants to continue the aggression here. Pops in a Replicant. Trying to do as much damage as he can. Look how low all these heroes are.
They gotta get out of here.
Run.
Take the even trade for right now. Nice Sakuchi grab, by the way, there for Banana. But, yeah, I mean, they moved it in. They actually managed to scout out the Sand King, hanging on the sidelines, waiting to do the Blink Epi, and they quickly jumped on him with the help of the dust. They scouted him out, took him apart. Zhao 8 made the hook shot in to try to get more out of it, but ended up going right back towards Vici Gaming once again. So they trade even on this bottom lane Tift.
And Moo has decided to make a more direct impact on the game sooner rather than later. He's picked himself up a Dagon. This is a pretty popular item on this hero. With the burst you have in the mid game, the Dagon can sometimes just crank you in a couple kills you might not get otherwise just from a lack of damage. But now with that Dagon, he's going to be looking to kill someone like Sylar, and now they're smoked up. They're going to look to try to immediately take advantage of this. FY, they'll be happy to kill him as well. He is up in the air, dragged back immediately. He is bursted down. Moo does not avoid the Ice Blast, unfortunately.
Oh, no chance. King J, improper TP right there, my friend, as he gets smacked in the back end from the Weaver and taken down immediately. So another one-for-one trade when it should have been a clean escape. So unfortunate for them, but nice classic pickup right there. Sand King had no chance.
Not at all, immediately bursted down. How now continuing to farm up. We'll see fairly soon what item he does decide to go for. Is he going to go for the Mana Style, or is he going to go for the Shotgun? The Shotgun must look pretty enticing, especially when you've got the Puck on your team as well. I mean, that's just a lot of extra magic damage stacked on top, so they can pretty much nuke down anyone they want if that's what he goes for. Super. Looking for initiation. Not gonna happen. That's pretty hard to make happen on the puck anyway, so.
Yeah. I do like the idea that Rubik is looking to build forward into the Force Staff. Not only does it help with the extra mobility and it can help Clockwork in need if you manage to cog someone out, but also because we are going with these late game Lincolns holders, you know, so he can remove the pop of the Lincolns right now and allow the rest of his team to be able to take advantage of that. Maybe a CC coming in from the Shadow Shaman or what have you.
Yeah, and the good news, Clockwork has picked up his Force Staff already, so if he finds himself trapped in with like an Alchemist and he gets a little bit too low, he's going to be able to get himself out of that situation. It's also just really nice mobility to be able to set up better hook shots. Just a perfect item on that hero. Sand King rotating over now. Hasn't really been able to take full advantage of this Blink Dagger quite yet.
Yeah. Right now, a lot of Vici holding strong mid lane. I think the mid tier 1 tower is looking pretty appetizing right now for him. So as they step forward, potentially look to throw down the acid spray in the foundation, they might look to fight here. Oh, Force Staff to get away from that one and will step back. Fortification will be pulled out right now. They're kind of second guessing if they want to commit to this or not. They step back when they see the illusionary orb fly out and now have to think about regrouping.
The wards are dropped in the top lane though. How? Just deciding that he would rather knock down this tower than participate in this fight. He does have a Replicant in the mid lane, so he can return there. But I think they're going to get this tower without a problem. RTK's here, but that is not going to help. Well, they get the deny. Very nice job. And now the Morphling has escaped. He is left, gone to the mid lane, and then TP'd immediately down to bottom. He's just going to push this out, continue farming it up, and he is going for the Ethereal Blade next. And Shadow Shaman, also a very notable pickup, has finished that Blink Dagger.
Yep, great initiative tool you were talking about in the draft, so nice significant pickup for themselves. Even though they did have their top tier 2 tower denied, it is a tower down, and that could be a lot of map control that they could take advantage of if they'd like. I would hope to see a lot of these supports pick up some wards and put them down pretty aggressively, you know, so they can jump in. But meanwhile, mid lane, oh, a hook shot will catch on FY. FY in a bit of trouble right here. Telekinesis will pull him back, and they can kind of segregate him from the group with the help of the cogs. There's the shackle. They need more damage, but they can't quite get it. Shadow Shaman ends up falling, unfortunately, to Sylar, who goes onto a killing spree. Right clicks to go as Sand King makes his retreat to the north. There's a big coil on 2. Actually 3. Catches him out. Moo ends up falling though in the cold feet. And now we'll have to step back. Jiawei caught in the sprout right now. Right clicks to come. Trying to make his retreat as the Necro Book chases him down. And the rest of Vici Gaming will be able to capitalize on this and take out the mid tier 1 tower if they so choose. But Morphling shows up. How in a lot of trouble right now. Quick replicate out to get away from any danger. And this will be an easy tower pick off. So man, Vici Gaming capitalizing on that one. I mean, I'm throwing out the capitalizing like no other.
Sylar just shredding those supports. They didn't really have anything to deal with him. They used all the CC beforehand, and he was just able to nail down a couple of those supports before anything could really happen. And How, a bit late to the party, was not able to really make an impact on that. He did assist in getting the 1 kill. I believe that was on the Sand King. The Flare actually finished him off. And now, Vici Gaming on the dire side, gonna want to choose to take down the Roche. And I like this choice a lot. This is safer. They don't really want to nail it into the tier 2s and just ram their head against the wall and possibly get wiped. So this choice is definitely a lot safer here. And now they're going to regroup up and figure out the best way to continue on. But the shotgun is almost done for House. They're going to have to be careful.
You know, big dip coming out on the goal graph as well. Definitely a big momentum changer in this game so far. Things look pretty evenly spread up to this point, but that was probably the most significant advantage of this game thus far, going in favor of Vici Gaming.
Yep, so are we going to see a 2-0? I have to find out. Illusion Rune popped up. And now Super. I think they were looking for anybody. They're going to deward now as well, so Gem picked up for him.
Very nice, and things continue out. Jiawei's been having a bit of trouble getting a good position in a lot of these fights, getting caught out and not really getting to be the aggressor. And as you can see, a hook shot. He's going to actually go rotation to the top lane, where a lot of Vici Gaming are looking to acquire another tower for themselves. Newbee toying with the idea of potentially defending it out, as a lot are rotating over.
Yep, Morphling is very near to the area. And are they going to try to move in on this? They've lost the tower. Use the Ethereal Blade on the Lincolns. His own Lincolns is popped now. FY moving forward. Weaver tossing out the bugs, and it looks like Newbee would like to disengage here. Not quite ready to move in. Puck, he's coming over. There he goes. Dream Coil, War Trap on Super as well, and now he's out. Xiaowei moving forward, and now, oh my god, they just don't have enough damage to kill Sylar. They can't bring him down. They need to figure out a way. He time-lapses back, and this is a huge issue. He's just going to run amok now and start doing tons of damage to these heroes. Down goes Banana. Sylar looking extremely convincing. Even with the Shadow Shaman, even with the Puck, even with the lift, they're not able to keep Sylar down.
Yeah, Vici Gaming have been on par just all night so far. It's ridiculous right now. Really taking advantage and just beginning to run away with this one. They're looking to go for a second tower now. This is so much gold being aired. Wow, shotgun blast though on ROTK. Assassination complete as he blasts them down immediately. Nice little redemption snag, but regardless, they lose the tower.
Oh, yeah, well, King J, wow, that was an aggressive movement. He darts forward. Is there even any damage to follow it up? No, there is not. That was an aggressive move. Moves here. Oh, uh-oh. Gets turned it around. There's an Ice Blast. Xiaowei, no, he hooks in on his teammate. Down goes Puck. He dies to Sylar yet again. And they're just feeding over the kills. This is the opposite. No, Newbee, this engagement goes all wrong. And now Sylar just ripping through them. Another stun on How. He has the Ethereal Blade available, but only Waveform now left to escape. Is it going to be enough? He's trying to get out of here. Still, they're chasing him down. Sylar, unforgiving. And man, Vici Gaming just took a commanding lead in this one.
They were just surprised by that little tiff by the tower and the little bit of over-aggression, but when they actually pursued, they were like, we can take this, and they immediately turned back and addressed Moo and just took him to town. It was unbelievable. Just great game sets to know when to take the fight by them. So another fight in the books for them. 16-3 the score, but I can imagine that Vici Gaming are beginning to run away with this.
How just nailed down the Nature's Prophet. You know, that's the nature of Shotgun Morphling. Sometimes you miss a kill when he just kills someone instantly.
Uh-oh.
Ice Blast. Just off the mark. Well,
he's a level 2 Ice Blast, so I mean, who knows what would have happened.
They're trying. I think that I have no idea what that says. Well,
no. Either I'm really tired and that's English and I can't read it right, or I just don't know what that says. Yeah, that's definitely no. Okay, I don't know.
Well, I don't know what that means. Maybe we'll have a pause or something like that, but we'll find out. I think everything seems to be okay.
Newbee just need to dig deep now and find the appropriate time to take these fights. I mean, I don't know if it's the time just yet to try to think about some sort of crazy side pushes with the help of the Shadow Shaman just yet, but more rather try to find proper initiations with the hook shot, with the puck. They have all the tools they could use, but they're just not being able to get the opportunities to make it happen. They're more on the back foot right now. They're thinking about these invitations, but they're thinking a little too hard, and it doesn't end up working out in their favor, so hopefully they can manage to pull it all together.
Yep, and How just continuing to move on forward here. Really the only bright spot for Newbee is How. And is he going to find ROTK again? I think he doesn't know he's here. ROTK's out of here. He's had enough. He's had enough. He's already died to the shotgun twice, and now... Oh, no, he's actually staying. The rest of Vici coming down. Oh, How. He's going to leave.
No, he's out of there. Nice little sprout to try to scout it, but he's already long gone.
And ROTK, I mean, are Vici going to be able to get back or to win this game quickly? I don't know if they're up against any sort of clock or anything like that. I mean, the Morphling, you could argue, might be an issue. But, I don't know. They look so good. Sylar, they can't kill him. 8-1, has an Aegis still.
I forgot about that. Man, the Aegis as well. It's just unbelievable. A lot going in their favor right now.
Book 3 has been up for quite a while. Oh, that Aegis is expiring in 30 seconds, so we'll see if Vici would like to force this one. It looks like quite the opposite. They are heading out of here.
Dire's top tower is under
They begin to roll back, and we might potentially not really see much action again until the Roche is back in action here. And we'll see. You know, Vici Gaming on the Dire side definitely have the advantage to try to take it home, and it's going to come down to if Newbee want to decide to defend it out or not. You know, as said before, they have to choose their fights very wisely because they throw away a whole nother one. They could lose a Rax. I mean, we're talking we got Necro Book 3s acquired and all this heavy pushing power.
Desolator for Sylar.
Yeah, if you throw this one away, you're looking at a set of Racks down.
Oh, there's a hood for FY. I like this pickup quite a bit. Gives you a lot more HP against the combo from the Morphling, so... very cheap item. And Sylar going to go ahead and pick up the BKB. He realizes that the Ethereal Blade is really the only thing that's stopping him from total annihilation of the enemy team. So he's just going to pick up the BKB. And they don't have anything to do that can deal with that. I mean, they can hook shot in on him, but I imagine that's not going to work out nearly as well for Zhao 8 as he would hope. So now we'll have to see how Vici Gaming want to continue this and try to figure out how to end this one.
Yeah, they have a hard enough time trying to lock him down and take him down once. They have to do it twice with the help of that time lapse, so it's definitely going to be a bit of a challenge for them if they can get something going. But you never count out. This is Dota after all. There's been throws. There's been crazy ones. Morphling throws out the Lincolns here, but he's kind of alone here. Has to be a little cautious. Weaver thinking about making a move in, but heavy pings to come. Yeah, rotations coming in from behind. This might be a quick Lincoln, but nice wave where Replicant gets out just in time.
Yeah, and that was just about to run out, so he was probably going to leave no matter what. I mean, he would have had to been Shane CC'd to make it so he couldn't leave, and it's just a bit too late on that initiation. But Vici still more than happy with what's going on.
Yep, of course. And any moment now, looks a little more time, Roche will finally be back into play, and Vici Gaming obviously holding strong. I heard a Dagon go out, and it was just actually Moo Dagoning out that big old creep right there, trying to inherit a little farm quicker, but behind enemy lines here. Vici Gaming going in a little aggressive right now. They might see Moo. There it is. Sakuchi, catch out. There we go. The ship can get away from this one. Everything they can, but he will be able to blink away. That pesky little bugger being able to get away.
Well, they need to be a bit careful here. Pop off the dust to make sure there's no one hiding around, and there is not. So the rest of Vici just parking it up in the lane, saying, "Come at me." And I'm not sure Newbee is ready for this. Yeah, they're not. Definitely not ready for this.
No. Here we go. Push acquired. Books are out. Weaver, heavy damage with the help of the Desolator. The tower will end up falling. Nothing they can really do. Just kind of submitting it over. And Vici Gaming still in main control of this one. Moving on through. If they move that Necro Book a little further down, they could probably consider dewarding, but they don't quite see it just yet.
I think he's gonna catch a couple on the way out. Where did he put them? Oh, they're just sending him back through the mid lane. Well, that's some free wards that they could have picked up, but not a catastrophe or anything. What happened to that gem that they had? Where is that at? Super still has it. Okay. So Newbee just trying to figure out a way to create some space here, and Roshan. It's gonna be a while till he's up. Another minute and 40 seconds or so. And Newbee still grappling, trying to find a way back into this one. It's going to be a Hex for Moo. That's definitely one way to try to do it. Unfortunately, the BKB and the Lincolns going to make that a little bit hard to bring down the Sylar, and he is the big issue, and now Alchemist is going to become an issue as well. He's picked up his own BKB, and he's going to become a lawnmower and just start chopping people down in that ultimate form.
Yep, and really though, Newbee don't have too much to fall back on, just simply this Morphling. But I am but one man, Morphling says, so we can see if it's enough to pull it out. And, another tower to fall, all outer towers now, taken down for Newbee.
Yeah, we'll see if they can actually ride this Morphling to victory. I mean, his job is hard. His back is going to be sore at the end of this game, one way or the other. Looks like he's going to be finishing up that Mana Style next, and he does have more than enough gold. I imagine he's probably saving for buyback at this point too, and he's playing very conservatively. As soon as he sees a TP, he is out of here. The same for Moo. He's just trying to escape, make sure Sylar doesn't track him down.
A few licks in on that top tier 3 tower, so I'm surprised that Morphling managed to sneak his way in there that far, and just gives me brief flashbacks of Miracle Morphling being able to pull out what looked like a very devastating game for them, managed to rat himself into this one. I'm not sure if this is the playstyle that, Hao has with this Morphling, but, it's always a thought.
He actually decided to pick up a BKB. I suppose
it's a lot of defense.
Yeah, that's I mean, he needs it, though. He's been dying, and, he's only died actually once, but he's going to be dying in these next couple of fights, and, bad news for anyone who's a Newbee fan. This is an Aghanim Scepter now. Finished up for Fenrir. And now Roshan's up as well. I think if Vici are successfully taking this Roshan, not going to be a long game for Newbee after that.
Man, that AA ult with Aghanim Scepter, I mean, we say it all the time. It's just so good. I wouldn't be surprised if there'll be tweaks to come. I mean, the fact that it even goes through BKB and all that, it's just such a great tool to have on your team.
Yeah, it's incredibly useful. In the late game team fights, you can just force them back, can knock it at them and just make them leave their defense or just suffer. I mean, they'll just die if they don't. So How continuing to just push out these lanes, try to get himself enough farm to be relevant, it's going to take a while. And he, like you said, I mean, he's only one player. There's only so much he can do. There's a lot of options on Vici's side to sort of just deal with him. One Hex, I would expect. Maybe they'll pick up another one. I'm not sure who would be the one to pick it up, but I mean, the more hexes, the better against a Morphling rather.
Yeah, absolutely. Proper lockdown is always very nice to have. And for now, I mean, I don't really know, but from what the pause is showing me, it just seems like maybe they're thinking about baiting the Morphling out a little bit right here. Xiao's in the backdrop, probably behind, has the hook shot ready in case things do get hairy. But the whole Newbee squad relatively here congested in the mid lane.
And I honestly don't think that Vici's interested in sort of moving in on this. I think they're concentrating on securing themselves a Roche. Maybe that's through a smoke gank or something like that, but they really want to get that Roche just to make it so they can finish out this game cleanly without too much risk. Continuing to move forward here. The Sand King as well as the Alchemist.
Yep.
Coming back
Roshan's
around.
back up now. They both want to kind of like congest here towards the area. Pings are already ready to come out here. Furion goes right into it, wants to make it happen for themselves. Newbee will scout it with the rocket right now, and now that they want to engage.
Can they do anything about this, though? I mean, they've got a Sand King protecting them on the high ground. They have Fenrir here with the Ice Blast. They pop off a Dust, and already it's gone. Weaver with the Desolator able to make that happen extremely quickly. Super going to self-stun, but well worth it, as he was just saving up some insurance in case they did try to disrupt that. And now Vici, how are they going to close this one out? Are they going to wait for another item on Sylar? Should be pretty soon for him to pick up another item. Or are they just going to figure out a way to make it happen? I mean, maybe they're going to smoke gank or something. Depends how conservatively they want to play it.
I would hope that maybe they would consider not giving Morphling the opportunity to make a comeback and kind of just go more aggressive. But man, I'm just impressed how quick they took down that Roshan. That minus armor, the Desolator, the Acid Spray, it melts Roshan like butter.
Super almost has an AC. They might want to wait for that, as well as whatever Sylar is buying. He's very close. I imagine that's probably what they're waiting for.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, you know, obviously you might want to hold back for a little bit of buyback, but maybe if he wants to go more of those deeps route, he can go for the MKB or, you know, Daedalus route.
Yeah, he's got options now that he has the damage with the Desolator. BKB obviously provides a little bit of damage, but I mean, still, he can do more than enough to bring down these supports easily. Also has a pretty healthy HP pool for himself. And Super, 100 gold away from getting up that Assault Grass, which is now he has enough money for it. So let's see, is this go time for Vici, or are they going to be content? I mean, Newbee do have to be very careful here in this top lane.
They have a lot of their support squad hanging around really far back, Zhao in particular with the smoke, but they're actually calling out Notable here and doing a long rotation all the way down and pulling all the way back. So I guess they don't want to commit to anything just yet. Bit of a fake out there, OTK. Throwing out the TPs. Does finally commit, but just promptly going to the jungle instead.
There is a lot of money for a lot of these Vici heroes. RTK has 4k, 5k for Sylar. Not too much on the rest of these, but 2k on the Sand King as well, so a lot of gold on this. And glancing over at the gold graph, it's moving down to 10,000. This is sort of the doomed part of the gold graph, but we have seen bigger swings tonight, so we'll see if Newbee can battle back. I'm just not sure they actually have the tools.
I mean, especially the late game tools, they're just not as prominent right there. I mean, if you're given the opportunity to get closer to the base and you can really take advantage of the push power of the wards, that's one thing. But for now, they just have to play very defensively. I mean, they have proper initiation, but they can't get it going in their favor right now. And they have too much to worry about. They got this Weaver, they got this Alchemist, they got this Sand King who potentially jump in. RTK is globally present wherever he may be. He may be off in a silent, but he can be a part of the battle just like that. So a lot to worry about, a lot to stress over. Newbee need to wait for the right opportunity to engage.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's going to be very crucial here. If they misstep at all, the game is going to end extremely quickly. The rest of the Butterfly is on the Courier for Sylar, and this is the opportunity that they're waiting for. They've got time-lapse, they have the Aegis, they know that. It's going to be very, very hard for them to actually bring down Sylar, and it looks like Vici are posturing up here to take their first set of racks. The bugs go out, RTK sending the Treants forward, Can Newbee do anything about this? They have to be very careful with how they engage this if they lose a lot of their heroes. They might be losing more than one. Looking over the buyback, Moo is the only one that has it.
Yep, Morphling's taking the tier 2 tower. It gets done. He has a replicate to fall back to if needed, and there it goes. He does get it off. Quickly tries to shoot out the shotgun, but not quite successful on that one. So they do inherit a tower as they still manage to hold the hill, but the tier 3 is very, very low.
And they're still they're happy to slow siege this. I mean, the Aegis still has another couple of minutes, so I think as long as they get it before then, they will be happy. No, they're actually choosing to back off a bit here. I think they're going to push out bottom and then just continue to re-engage. They just want to keep themselves as safe as possible.
Ooh. That's a really delicious looking DD
wow.
on the top though, and Weaver grabs it for himself, and he's like, let's go. Immediate Sakuchi out. I think they will wipe out these creeps and maybe try to make another go in this mid lane.
ROTK will be ready to come back down in 3 seconds, so that definitely could be the case. The DD for Sylar is going to make it a lot easier. And sometimes you just get those Eternal Envy runes, you know? Just get those EEDDs.
Prominently holding strong though through the jungle, taking away all that farm, and this is where the suffocation begins. Morphling obviously has a longer leash to work with the help of his replicate, so he's continuously pushing out in those side lanes, but the rest of this Newbee squad are just confined to this base here. Nowhere to go, nowhere to find their farm or gold. They just have to wait. Wait for hopefully the right opportunity for Vici to throw something away or throw something towards Newbee to jump on and capitalize with. There it goes again, capitalize. God damn it, Greg.
It's late, man. It's been a long night. Here we go. Now that it looks like Vici are going to be looking to push this in. Here more treants. Oh, they try to get the shotgun out here. And oh, nope, they don't take down Super. Now Sylar trying to man fight How. There's the time-lapse back. How still taking a lot of damage. King J is going to go down in one click to Sylar. And now they're charging into the base. Still the Aegis is alive. Banana going to try to do something here. Unfortunately, How has had to retreat to heal back up. Ice Blast going to go through and is going to hit them up. And this is when this becomes extremely annoying. Because you can't heal, just have to sit there. And there's nothing you can do except watch your Rax die. And they easily bring down this one. And I think they're going to get more. Morphling is... Wow, he ended up dying to the AA. He has to buy back now. And he's trying to bring down Super, still not able to do it. And now he has to be careful. There's the Lincolns coming off. This could be the last fight. Vici, a lot of them are low. Sylar's Aegis about to stop, and that unfortunately gets canceled by the Acid. So he doesn't have that anymore, but still, just doing so much damage to these towers. Out goes the stun. Shall wait. This is the last stand, I think, for Newbee. Yep. ROTK, he's going to go down, and now they are going to propel them out of the base for the moment, I think. But Newbee need to be careful here not to overextend and move forward, because they can easily turn this back around, continue mowing him down. Sylar regenning up, and all 5 heroes still alive for Vici Gaming.
Yep, I mean, they did lose the Nature's Prophet, but the quick prompt buyback on right back to the bottom lane, so they lose a little bit of gold, so they might be, want to be able to get something going, but for now, just kind of sweeping back through the jungle. They took a couple of sets of tier 3 towers, no racks just yet, but it's very grim still for Newbee.
They did get the melee racks in the mid lane, so that's a start.
They need to get the melee racks.
Yeah, they mowed it down, and now I think they're just going to wait again for the next Roshan. But I'm not sure they're going to be able to do this. Also, actually just amazing that Super lived through that whole thing. He like almost died like 4 times. Not able to go down.
Take a beating.
Yeah.
With the help of that. That's so curious, man. The Black King Bar, that very defensive there with the help of a mechanism. This is a guy who can take a beating. He's not putting out the heaviest hits ever, but man, he's being really, really utilized. The acid spray, he's getting the stuns off, everything he needs, and if they're focus firing him and drawing attention away, he's definitely doing his job very well. So quick props to Super.
Yeah, and we'll see how fast this Aegis is going to be back up. If it's a quick one, this game could end quickly for Newbee, because I don't think Vici Gaming have any interest in letting them get up buybacks. They probably just want to end this one. I mean, the Morphling is going to be a problem at some point, but that point is not quite yet, so we'll see. Aegis going to be revealed how long it is until it's up. Minute 50, so... Right.
My immediate prediction from this is if Newbee can't find a proper pickoff, hopefully outside of the base, and Vici managed to make their way into it, it's not going to be good. They could end up, losing the team fight, but I'm feeling like Iraqs are going to be taken down. There's just all these books and everything available to just get the push going in their favor. So I feel like if they manage to make their way to the base, Iraqs will be going down.
Yeah, and they're continuing to push in here. They don't seem to care. They want to press their advantage. Super finally going down. Zhao 8 moving on through, and now he's charging up. And it looks like this might be enough for Vici Gaming to say, okay, all right.
Yeah, they make that jump outside the base. They catch the Alchemist right outside the base and take him down quickly. So it's something they were definitely looking for. They're still on the hunt, though. Throw out the orb, but they will not jump to it.
And we'll see if they just want to hang out until this Roshan spawns here. Or if they just, if they can get a pick off at any point, the game basically just ends for Newbee. So they still need to be very careful. We were saying earlier, they're just stuck in their base. They can't leave.
Nope, can't afford to give anything away, especially a lot of them who don't have the buybacks available anymore. That is a game ender. You're looking at only Zhao 8 available buyback right now. So if anyone else gets caught out, it's going to be game over.
Continuing on here, we'll see if Vici Gaming can close the door on this one shortly. They're in a commanding position right now. 15k gold lead, around 10k XP, a little bit less. But man, what a convincing game. What a convincing night from Vici Gaming. They've just played unbelievably well through every single game. Perfect execution. Very impressive stuff.
This is not looking good. Nature's Prophet
that's
even.
That's a heart.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a bug you're not going to be able to squish.
Yeah. That's
Nature's
like the most
Prophet.
annoying cockroach ever.
Yeah. It lasts the nuclear battle and just keep on kicking. ROTK gets the damage Demon Edge for himself, so this is turning into what could be a somewhat of a tricore developing for Vici, while Newbee only still have that Morphling to kind of bail out the damage. But man, it's very, very hard for Newbee right now. There's nothing else to say about it. They have to give the Prime optimal jump in to make something happen. That time could be at Roshan.
Yeah, we'll see. It is pretty risky, though. They're going to be battling against the A ulti, the Sand King ulti. Do you really want to do that at Roshan? That's the question.
It's very true. It's all going to come down to proper positioning. Hopefully VG don't get too confident there. They're throwing out the Ice Vortex, scouting things out. No one's going to be there. Audibles are being called. Newbee thinking about making a long rotation up and back behind the Ancient area to come in from there, but VG don't seem to be caring about the Roshan just yet.
Yeah, they'll get it when it's convenient for them. They're just farming. They've got no issues in the world. They know that they are comfortably ahead, and they know that Newbee have to travel in packs. So we will see.
It's inevitable. Might come. There we go. They call out the trees. A missile will fly. Briefly kind of scouts him out right there. Sakuchi, and not thinking about making a run in the pit just yet, using the trees very wisely so to kind of scout things out. Even the replicate's doing the same as well. And there they go. They finally enter the pit. They lay down the foundation for ass whooping on Roshan with the help of the acid spray. And as you can tell, all that minus armor, man. Roshan was there briefly, but now be taken out. Zhao makes the jump in, hook shot, but he gets cut out with the burrow strike. This might not be able to come of it. Meanwhile, on the sidelines, King J catches out Fanir. Fanir will end up falling in the end, but that's just a support pick-off as the rest of the squad, including ROTK and Alchemist and Weaver and everyone making the run in. They're going to try to catch someone out. There's the stun. Zhao might be in a bit of trouble right here as he caught out with the Sprout. He ends up quickly being taken down. Heavy hitter. Morphling jumps in, wants to go a right-click battle, but man, Weaver hits like a truck. Yep, this is it, and he goes down. Beyond godlike right now. Coming out for Sylar. King J trying to make a retreat out with the help of the TP, and they step back. 2 down, Morphling. Well over 100 seconds to get back in this one, and Vici Gaming now making the long stride down the mid lane, going for victory lane.
Morphling does have the buyback available. He's the only one. Here we go. This is really it. There's nothing left for them after this. There's nothing left in the tank. They're going to lose at least part of their buildings if Vici decide to move in here. And it looks like still they're going to be backing off. So
this is some serious slow siege happening right now. This is a seriously safe play. They should be well aware of how far ahead they are in this one, but I guess they don't even want to give the glimmer of hope over to Newbee if they can catch something out.
They're going to make them suffer.
Yeah, just a slow strangle attempt where they're just going to slowly close off the windpipe of this one. But, man, Weaver, man, he hits hard. That last fight, man, he was ripping them apart. Just a few auto attacks is all it took. And plus with the help of that Gemini attack, it's just unmerciful.
There's a lot of Ghost Scepters on this team. Moo is the only one without one to try to deal with that. But unfortunately, if you all use it at the same time, then there's going to be some other things coming your way. And Sylar are always going to be able to find a target, basically. Might keep you alive for a little bit longer, but to be honest, they need a lot more than a little bit longer.
If they mistime those Ghost Scepters too and an Epicenter comes their way, that would be pretty terrible.
Yeah, that would be very, very ugly. Sylar continuing to move forward here. Super the one who's holding on to this cheese. Sylar doesn't have any slots for things like that. He's too busy killing people.
He's pretty much 6 slot at this point, unless he wants to change things over to a Boots of Travel. Obviously going to hold a lot of income towards his buyback if something is to go awry. I mean, you can always fall back on that sweet little die buyback, time lapse, get right back in the firefight kind of get up that we see sometimes from Weaver. Just a great tool to have, but for now, just holding strong on the bottom. Obviously, ROTK doing his own thing in the top lane, pushing in the top, adding a little bit of extra pressure. He can make his presence known whenever he sees fit, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's very easy for him to come in. He just wants to make sure that the lanes are continually pushed in. There's no window of opportunity. If for some reason Vici do lose the fight, they don't want to make it so they can immediately push back and just try to throne them or something like that. So, very good play by Vici Gaming. Still very conservative lead now. Sylar has decided it's time. Nope, not quite yet. He wants to avoid the bugs. And they're going to slowly push this one in. How? Pops the Manta. Wow, he attacks quite quickly. And now, this is the engagement. Super. He's in the back. He is going to go down, but Sylar is just wrecking everyone. There's not really anything they can do. How? He's trying to make it through here, but it's not going to be enough. Triple kill for Sylar, and I think with it is going to go the game. A buyback from FY. Is that going to do anything? He's just going to come back and make it even easier for them. Zhao 8 calls the GG, and Sylar on the back of an ultra kill is going to take this game for Vici Gaming. They're going to win the series 2-0, 4-0 on the night, and they look unstoppable.
Undefeated for the day. Very nice and strong performance coming out from Vici Gaming, man. I'm glad I had my mic off because I let out the biggest sigh of relief after this long night. Man, it was a rough one, but we got to see some great games and great performances, and the odds were down the middle, but there's no stopping Vici Gaming, man. They just look so good.
They are unstoppable. Thank you guys for watching throughout the entire night. We've been casting now for about 8 hours. We appreciate you guys watching. I'm What Is Hip. Follow me on Twitter at What Is Hip TV if you want to see more from me. And if you want to see more from Coddle Guy, follow at Coddle Guy on Twitter. We're both very good about responding to people. If you want to say anything to us, let us know anything. Feel free. Hit us up on Twitter. We love hearing from you guys. But tonight, we're done for the night for WPC East 2014. Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you later.